this computer. Okay. So this week is a little bit different. This month is a little bit different. So, well, because I've been telling Jonathan I was going to do this forever. And so I decided that it was something everyone should know, and then I could work smarter, not harder. So here we are. So it's all based on my noggin brain knowledge. So there's no references at the end except my brain. So, if someone watches this on recording and they don't want that, they can just end here. But so I broke it down into like the different regions to work on. And then if you guys can, while you're working, we can like go through them. I didn't put pictures because they're like kind of some of my favorites and some I've kind of made up. So, but it's recorded. So you can always reference this. And then if you need more than that, we can figure it out. Okay. So postural exercises to incorporate into your workday. So just briefly, what is good posture? So in general, staying in any one position for like an extended, as we all like straighten up, staying in one position for an extended period of time is what's going to end up causing the pain and discomfort. So it's like you could be sitting in great posture, but even if you're in great posture for 8 hours without moving, you're going to end up having pain. I think the biggest thing gets like neglected is it's for the longest time you can have terrible posture and have absolutely no problems, and then you reach like a certain point in your life and everything has added up, and then it feels like everything happens at once and you're falling apart, but it's been like a prolonged period of this. So trying to think about, I literally put Pinocchio on here at first and I was like, wait, Pinocchio has a big nose. So trying to think about someone pulling you up by a string like you're a puppet is like really what I think makes the best posture. So if you try to like just pull your shoulders back, or like ends up being really awkward. So if you just try to think about you being a puppet, not Pinocchio, because that's not right. That is, because then it ends up your chin's a little tucked, anyway, that's how you get to the best posture. Here's a little guide demonstrating it. And to kind of go along with that, like ergonomic desk setup here is, so you want your shoulders relaxed. Ideally, you have armrests that your elbows can be on. You have some sort of lumbar support here in your back. You want your thighs parallel with the ground, knees at 90, feet on the ground. And then this angle here should be like pretty much in front of you, which is hard if it's a laptop, so you can put them on something, but this angle should be about 30 degrees. So you don't have to end up looking down. And these numbers are not necessarily right depending on how tall you are, but that's that. Okay, so what can bad posture cause? So all kinds of things, kind of like I said, it's more like over time, but so like shoulder pain, shoulder impingement. I'm not speaking specifically to you with these, Jonathan. I don't want you to feel targeted.
Or me, for that matter.
Yeah, or Jesse. I'm not saying these are just what I see most commonly. Neck pain, so it can be just neck, or it can be like numbness and tingling into the hands. Headaches, like I know when I was in PT school and I was on the computer all day, I was getting like these like tingly headaches just from like my posture not being good. Upper back pain, like the thoracic type pain, limited range of motion in the neck, and low back pain as well. There's more, but those are the most common. And so best thing to do is really to be shifting your posture throughout the day if you can. So like a standing desk is always a great option if you have that, but then equally as good, I think, is to set a timer on your phone for every 1 to 2 hours, and you get up and do some quick exercises or stretches to just kind of mix it up so you're just not in one static position. So that's kind of based on that. That's how I broke up this presentation, and based on Jonathan's request. So we'll go over, I broke them up, so I think they should be about 5 minutes each or less, so that you can do, then there's 4 different types, which will kind of all go based on this picture. So it'll break down into these 4 segments. So this is a very exaggerated bad posture, but these are the things that you find. So there's weak deep neck flexors and weak low trap and serratus anterior. So that's where you need more stability or more strength. So there'll be 2 groups of exercises to address those parts. And then for mobility, so there's the tight upper traps, levator scap, and the tight pecs that typically comes with it. So we'll go through 2 groups of exercises that's more mobility, so like getting more motion. So this is kind of more strengthening and more range of motion. So we're just going to get to it. I don't know if you guys can does Jesse made it clear that he was just going to be drinking his martini and not doing the exercises because he's had a long day, which is allowed because that's what this is. But I don't know if you guys want to do them or not, but you're welcome to. So most of them don't have any props. There is one section that does, but so this is for mobility for upper back. So like the upper thoracic spine. So all of them can be done. I tried to make it so like if people are actually at an office or something, not working from home, you can make it either way. So you can do it on the wall, but really in quadruped is better for these. So we'll do quadruped since we're at home and no one else is here. Okay, so, and I just named these based on myself and what I call them. So they're, I don't know if you look up if this is going to be what the rest of the world calls it. Okay.
So you came up with something called thread the needle?
Well, okay, that's true. I didn't make up all of them. That's true. Some of them get weirder. I just named them based on what's happening, essentially. Okay, I'm trying to see what the best angle is here. Yeah, I did not make up thread the needle. You're right.
We can see, that's a good one there.
Okay, I was trying to make it. Okay, so first is going to be thoracic rotation. So you're going to be in this hands and knees position, and you're going to put your hand on the back of your head. So what you are trying to do is you're really just trying to rotate your elbow up towards the ceiling. So your neck stays in like a neutral position with your chin tucked, rotating your elbow up as high as you can towards the ceiling. Really not much else to that. So there might not be much motion. You might have a lot more motion on one side compared to the other. But because the ribs are here, there's not a ton of, it can get very stiff. So this, and if you were standing against the wall, it would be the exact same motion. Okay. All right, that's first option. So thread the needle, you guys probably done at some point. So you can literally do, essentially you can kind of alternate it if you want to, but exactly the opposite. So now you're going to be reaching down. You want like your palm up towards the ceiling and back your hand along the ground. So you're going to reach as far as you can. And you should really feel good, like stretching this upper part of the back. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you can do one side or the other, or you can rotate. But so palm is up and you're reaching and trying to get your shoulder down towards the ground as far as you can. Kind of depends on your range of motion, mobility. And so I think all of these, I prefer more dynamic type stretching. So you're going in and out of it, holding maybe like 10 seconds, but not the like typical 30 seconds is not necessary.
So like something you could do would be like 5 to 10 to each side or something like that.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, and I would almost like maybe you set your timer for 5 minutes and just cycle through them, but so you can get more, or see which ones you think are best. But yeah, I would do at least 10 to 20 each side. 10 to each side around, and then holding for around 10 seconds. That should be, the math isn't going in my head right now, but I think that's around right. At the clinic, sorry, what?
And each side and hold for 10 seconds?
Yes. Like at the clinic, I would probably have them do 20 to each side, but I think to make it fit into a 5-minute block, 10 would probably be good.
I do the thread the needle as part of my warm-up every day.
Yeah, thread the
with
needle.
a film real quick.
You can do it in child's pose too. I don't know if that's how you do it or not, but. And then, so I said modified down dog. So I actually really like this one on the wall, which is more than modified down dog, but on the ground, it would be more like you go in child's pose and then you try to get your elbows on the ground and then you try to sink your chest towards the ground. You can kind of come in and out of it. It's a pretty stiff area in general for people, so it might not feel like you're doing much. You might get more of a shoulder stretch with that. I think it is.
I like that.
So I'm stretching my triceps.
Exactly, you do get a tricep stretch. You get lat stretch, tricep stretch, shoulder stretch, and thoracic extension, and hip stretch.
I like it in the thoracic part.
Yeah, and it has a name in yoga, but I forget right now. But same, I'm going to show the down dog one too, just because I do really like, this is like perfect for kitchen counter height also. So I'll just kind of show it, but you can do it with your hands on the wall, but here I am, I'll do it on my desk, on my table, I mean. So you put your hands Let's see. Hands on the table. Then you just walk your feet back and then hinge at the hips and let your chest fall through. So I get a lot of cracks in my back when I do this, which is fabulous.
Yeah, so
Same idea. So you can kind of, like, I have people a lot of times kind of shift between that and this. But it's a great opening stretch. Okay. Next. So that is upper back mobility. So yeah, I don't know, it depends how much time you have, John, but like it would be cool. You could even do like 2 of these one day, 2 groups one day, 2 groups the next day, or all 4 in a day if you can. But I tried to get all the different. Okay, so mobility, chest. So these are all standing. So I think the doorway one you do, John, but I'm just gonna show, should have taken my salt and pepper shakers out of the picture. Some different options. So, because everyone's got a doorway, you know. Of course, my doorway has a butler's door that's not going to really work. Okay, so you put your hand, to make it the least intense version is hands down here, 1 foot forward, and then you shift your weight into the front leg. Biggest thing is you don't want to have most of your weight in your arms, because then you can really strain the shoulders. You want most of the weight in your legs, but you should feel an opening stretch. If you don't here, then you want to move up. So like a 90-90 would be much more intense. You can also do it like just if one arm is much tighter, you can do it and like rotate your body away.
yeah, so like when I do this and I am like have the arms like up or like sometimes like higher to try to get more stretch, like I feel like I can't move forward enough to stretch.
Well, then you probably need it lower.
Just trying to get the different areas of the pec.
Okay, well,
But maybe the one arm thing would be a way to do that.
yeah, I was gonna say that's a good idea. Because then you can just turn, yeah, you can get it more intense. It's like if you get up, it's not, and some parts of your pecs might not be as tight as others. So that's like another consideration, you know, it's just because one part, they all do different things. But another way to like get it is the arm on the wall, like arm on wall opener. So I'm gonna rotate this back this way. And so you get yourself like perpendicular to the wall, and then you stick your arm straight back, and then just try to get your body against the wall. And that just standing like that is pretty darn good stretch.
Do you trying to like have your shoulder in a certain, like keep your shoulder like down or like try to do
So you want to have your like arm at shoulder height, and then like get your arm and your shoulder all the way against the wall, and then like turn your body to face forward. Does that make sense?
So,
and so same idea, you could go lower, it would be less intense. I don't think that you're gonna feel much. So really at shoulder height, and then rotate away. Just a different take on it. The chest is pretty easy to stretch, so I mean, you probably know those. And then like laying on the foam roller would be another good one. But then the other thing about that is like the other section is strengthening, but just as like an active stretch, you could literally just like arms like this and then standing and literally just trying to get them back as far as you can, which is like actually kind of harder than it sounds. Because then you're strengthening through the full chest range of motion, which is also strengthening the back, but just another version. Chest openers aren't that exciting.
They're very exciting.
You can also lay on the ground and do it, but I was trying to make them like, so you could do it at work or something. Okay. Any questions about those guys?
I'm feeling pretty good now.
Jesse, how's your martini?
Good. This is more like non-contact practice for the weekend, okay? It's not necessarily a martini or a weekday drink. It's just kind of prepping myself, is all it is.
Gotcha. Getting yourself weekend.
Okay, so now these are the strengthening ones. Okay, so for the neck strengthening is always just weird. So I think my favorite ones are the on the ground ones. So if you have the ability to do the ground, let's just practice that way because it's, and I can show the other ones too, but let's do the ground first. So first you lay on your back and then you're gonna be doing tucking your chin and lifting your head up. So it sounds really easy, but you want to lift your head up just like so a piece of paper could get underneath it. So tuck your chin, you're gonna hold the chin down, and then you want to lift your head like just ever so slightly, and then you're gonna hold that. And so as soon as you start to lose the chin tuck, or if you had pain or something, you would want to stop, and then relax. So this is strengthening the really deep, well, all the front muscles on the front of the neck. So tuck, lift. Was anyone else trying this with
Hard.
Yeah.
I think I have a weak neck, man.
Yeah, most people do. You'd be surprised. Like going around like bobbleheads. So I put combo move, but this is really like a plank seems simple, but I'm going to talk through like the important parts of it because it really gets almost everything that's important for posture. So I'm going to do it on my knees because talking while pregnant and exercising is much harder than normal. It's like short of breath for some, like is one of my main symptoms. Okay, so elbows, so chin tucked, and you want to keep your neck in line with your spine. So most people are like here or here, and those are both miserable for the neck. So tuck your chin in line with the spine, so that's a static hold. And then I want you to push up through your shoulders. So John, this would help with like the winging thing you were talking about, is really pushing through the elbows, and then holding it like that. So even if you took a break and did like a minute of this, that would be pretty good use of your time. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, so the pushing up gets the serratus anterior, which is the muscle that keeps your shoulder blades against your back to prevent the winging. And then keeping like your head in that position, like is what you want to be doing too, like during push-ups, really during anything, but anything where gravity's pulling down, you really want to be doing that, and you'll be surprised how much work your neck will get. And so the other two are like the same ideas, just against the wall. So you would be doing that chin tuck and push back against the wall, or you'd be on your elbows, like leaning on a desk. So I don't feel like I need to show those also. Okay. Hi, Layla.
She was thinking too. She was doing
Yeah. Good work.
Layla stretches more than any person. She stretches like 75 times an hour.
Every time she stands up.
She's limber. She's got to stay limber, fluffy.
Oh. That's right.
That's right. Okay, so some of these, John, I think you know, but then some of them will be new, I think. So these most of them require a band. I don't know if you guys have a band, but I actually tried to make them all with the loop, which I think you should have got with your like.
Boom.
We have yellow too. It's in the.
Yeah, you don't have to have this one. I was just thinking, I think you got them at least from like the 10 rounds thing or whatever, but okay. So no monies are the easy, or the one that I think you definitely have done. So I like to do them, you don't have to do them against the wall, but the wall is great postural education. So re-education, I should say. Because in good posture against the wall, you want your sacrum on the wall, so like butt bone-ish, between your shoulder blades and back of your head. So that would be like good posture, which most people that I see at least struggle to get there to begin with. And then first one is elbows at your sides. It's much harder with a loop than with a regular band, so I'm not going to move very far. But you're going to be rotating your elbows away from you, keeping your elbows at your sides. So this is the motion. You should feel your shoulder blades like pinched together behind you. So with the band, like the long one you have done, you would want your palms to be up. It's just like kind of impossible to loop. Okay.
All the roo.
All the woo.
There she is.
Oh, with of cotton.
So this one, John, do you have a loop?
I do, but not right now. Come on, but
Okay, so this is just, you could, I don't know that it's gonna be as, it's
Yeah.
not gonna feel the same, but anyway.
Yeah.
So head across, same position, so you want your chin tucked here, so you're gonna push your arms wider than your body. I meant to tell you guys to get this at the beginning, I'm sorry. Wider than your body. And then you're gonna try to go all the way up to the wall, which is much, much harder than it looks. Which is why I picked the yellow loop.
Yeah, I gave John the yellow. The green one stinks. It's really hard.
Yeah, so you want to, it's most important part is keeping your arms wider than your shoulders. So it just really activates different muscles in your, like in the backs of the shoulders. And then being in this position is like a postural re-education for your brain and the muscles, that this is where we want you to be. And yeah, some people that have like shoulder issues, just even doing this motion with good posture is hard because a lot of people like compensate through their back and stuff. So just a little FYI.
Yeah, I kind of feel that happening.
Okay.
Okay.
And then for next one, scapular retractions with the band. I should have brought them. This is actually better with the long one like you have, John. So same position. And you know, you could do these away from the wall, but again, I'm obviously obsessed with using the wall. So palms would be forward.
There. Are your feet like away from the wall a little bit?
A little bit, yep. Yeah, in order to really get it, yeah, you can't. Yes,
Yeah,
you can have your feet a little bit away. Yep.
Yeah, I was like, I can't get all that stuff flat to the wall with my feet.
No. Well, the feet can be a little bit away. That's a very good question. And so then for the scapular retractions, you hold it and you want your palms forward. And then you're pretty much gonna pull, this is kind of like that one on the ground, John, I've had you do with like palms by your sides, but standing version. So palms stay forward, you're squeezing your
What
shoulder
does
blades
forward
like,
mean?
but your palms are forward.
What does that mean?
Like facing in front of you?
Oh, like facing, okay, like up.
Sorry, yeah, like palms.
Okay.
So you can see them with your eyeballs.
Okay.
I don't know how better to describe that. Yeah, facing the front of your body, which is technically the anatomical position. So, because people like to do it this way with the palms like towards the wall, and that it gets you into internal rotation, which then you're not strengthening the muscles as much like the external rotators. So, if you have your palms facing the front of your body, you get a lot more shoulder muscle activation. So you would be from here and then just pulling it kind of on either side of your body, and then you can relax it. Pull on the body.
So what's the difference between that and then doing like one where it's like in front of you like that?
So try them and tell me. So elbows here versus arms straight and down.
Okay, so I'm moving mine.
Yeah, so the ones, I'm not moving terribly far with this loop, but with your arms straight and you're moving back and down. So you're getting more low track in this one. And then with this one, you're getting more just like, not just, but you're getting the rotator cuff here, like the infraspinatus specifically, this is really a rotator cuff exercise. This is a low track exercise. So same kind of motion, but targeting different muscles. Both important though. Yeah, okay. So then a serratus anterior wall push-up might be too easy for you kids, but I'm going to demonstrate it here so you can see my shoulder blades. So serratus anterior is the muscle that does this motion. So you can just do it. It's very awkward to do. It feels awkward you're doing it right. So you squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keeping your elbows straight is the most important part.
The scapular push-ups?
Yes, exactly. Yep. And so here is probably not hard enough, but pushing up like that in a plank gets like more bang for your buck, or you can do them on the ground. I was just trying to focus on the wall for this one. But yes, exactly. So that's keeping your elbow straight and really pushing up. So like Lauren, maybe you need to watch him do that and make sure he gets all the way out of that like winginess. So like pushing up high enough, because a lot of times people they can't tell how much their shoulder blades are moving. So if you're not sure, you can send me a video. And last one is the why, where I can look in a month. Why lift? Although you're probably not going to do that. Okay, why lift off? You face the wall. Get nice, as close as you can. Like thumbs are pointing backward towards your butt. Okay. And then you're just lifting your arms straight back. It's not a very big motion. So you want to keep your core engaged because you're not just like arching through your back. Core is engaged and you're going straight back. And so this is really a low trap, so you should feel it here. The upper traps will turn on some, but this is really a very targeted motion for those muscles.
So are these exercises something that you would want to do just body weight? You don't want to add like any other like weights? If you put like 1 pound, 3 pound weights when you're doing that Y exercise, would that not be a good idea?
It probably would be good once you've done it. They're all honestly ones that when I have people do it in the clinic, granted, they all normally have had pain, but no, like minus the band ones, like the ones that they don't normally need it because it's such a small range of motion. You have a ton of motion though, Lauren. So I don't know if that's one you should be doing actually. But Jonathan, I was just thinking out loud because it's going to like put you further. But like, if it's someone that like kind of struggles with that end range of motion, I don't know that they're going to need a weight, but you definitely could. You definitely could. And then like the push-up ones, like doing it on the ground makes a lot more resistance. And then there's always ways to make these harder, but I was trying to make them like, so you could really actually do them during the day.
And just like repetitions with this is good, right?
Yeah, exactly. Especially with all of them, but the mobility, because it takes, think about how long it takes to get stiff, like, or like for like, to sit a certain way and then eventually, you get pain. So it takes for sure repetition. So like, I would think like the best thing would be just maybe 5 minutes, 4 times a day, if you have that, and just do a segment for each and just set it and go through it as much as you can. And if you like some of the ones you already have, John, better or something, you could like sub them out or add them in, but just get yourself into a solid routine. And I think that would be probably the best way to really make a lasting change. Hi, Smallsy. She does a lot of stretching too.
She's being a handful, if you couldn't tell.
References my brain. My pictures were from Google. I was like, I feel like I still need a reference slide because I've always had them, but I didn't use anything.
Excellent.
Yeah. So that was very different, but I feel like hopefully John had answered.
Yeah.
Stop sharing so we don't have to, but answered what you wanted. And then if you have like questions, you go to do them or you have questions or something, you can always like send me a video or something.
Very helpful.
I'll be the camera guy.
John, are you going to keep your hair? Your hair is so long. Is that good? Is that going to be the wedding hair?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was as long as Lauren. Yeah. I know. I looked at the picture. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like really getting long.
It's super long.
It doesn't look great right now because I've been wearing a hat all day.
Yeah. You got a good product for it. Good shampoo and conditioner for curly hair.
Nice. Like the one time you said to Mom, yeah, it only took me like 27 years to figure out how to deal with my hair or whatever you said that time.
Nobody told me about they like do stuff to it to make an afro.
Are you excited for your bachelor party? And then I know you have to actually work still, so.
Yeah, of course. I am excited. I'm trying to wrap up a few things. We had I don't know if you want to stop recording.
I did. Yeah, I already did.
It says recording.
Oh.
Yeah,
what?